While I'm in good health today, it is in the best interests of the nation for someone who is younger to tackle the huge challenges ahead.
Tonight, a succession setback. Singapore's Deputy Prime Minister Heng Swee Keat stepping aside as leader of the ruling party's 4G team.
So, who will be Singapore's next Prime Minister? 4 men have emerged as possible candidates. This is the Straits Times Newsnight. I'm Chow Suan.
Good evening, I'm Dylan Ng. In what has been described as an unexpected turn of events, Deputy Prime Minister Heng Swee Keat has effectively given up his position as Singapore's future Prime Minister and set back Singapore's succession plan for the next PM.
At a press conference today, Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, DPM Heng, along with the other members of Singapore's 4G leadership, broke the news. DPM Heng stressed that the results of the 2020 general election, particularly in the East Coast GRC, is not the reason he chose to step aside. Instead, DPM Heng, who turned 60 this year, cited his age as a primary reason. DPM Heng will step aside as the leader of the People's Action Party's 4th generation leadership team and give up the finance minister portfolio.
However, he will stay on in his current roles as Deputy Prime Minister and Coordinating Minister for Economic Policies. The results of the cabinet reshuffle will be announced in about 2 weeks.
While I'm in good health today, it is in the best interests of the nation for someone who is younger to tackle the huge challenges ahead. After careful deliberation and discussions with my family, I've decided to step aside as leader of the 4G team so that a younger leader who will have a longer runway can take over. I do not want to take on any job which I cannot deliver. As those of you who have worked with me know, I am a workaholic and I put my heart and soul into what I do, and therefore I've been thinking about it as to whether am I the right person?
In a lengthy, heartfelt message posted on Facebook, Mr. Heng shared both the letter he wrote to Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong and the reply that he received. In closing, he said, "I remain as Deputy Prime Minister, remain in service to Singapore and remain sincerely yours."
Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong said that DPM Heng has been an important member of his team for the last 10 years and that he will continue to help mentor younger ministers.
PM Lee stressed that while he will remain in his position in the interim, he hopes that the 4G team will reach a consensus and identify a new leader before the next general election.
I will stay on a bit longer so that the new successor can be identified and can get ready. And as soon as he's ready, I would like to hand over to him. I hope then to be able to help him and his team to succeed and to take Singapore forward beyond the time when I'm Prime Minister. I think that's a responsible thing to do. I know people look around the world and they look at the United States, they look at some models closer to home, and they say, you are still very young in comparison. Well, maybe so, but those are different models for different countries. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But in Singapore, I think it's not just wanting a younger minister with energy and the runway, but also wanting a system where we are able to carry this from PM to PM, from government to government, and have a system which will provide high-quality government for the long term for Singapore.
Now, with DPM Heng stepping aside, the race to become the next leader of the 4G team is officially on, and many are wondering who's next.
The PAP 4G team said it recognizes that Singaporeans will be concerned, but given the country's pressing challenges dealing with the pandemic, it will need more time to select another leader among themselves.
When it's a race, you only have one winner at the end, standing on the podium with a medal around his or her neck. With a team, we fight heart and soul on the field, and if we win, we have a trophy for the nation. And in that winning team, you will have a captain that can bring out the best of everybody. So that process of developing a strong team and rallying around a first among equal leader takes some time.
That said, 4 men have emerged as likely candidates to fill his shoes. They are Minister for Trade and Industry Chan Chun Sing, Minister for Education and Second Minister for Finance Lawrence Wong, Transport Minister Ong Ye Kung and Minister for National Development Desmond Lee. All 4 were present at the press conference and are also key members of the 4G team's core and central executive committee. Who will be Singapore's next PM? You can find this story and more on straitstimes.com. And of course, we will continue to bring you all the latest on Singapore's succession planning as the 4G team chooses a new leader.
And in other news tonight, $370 million in wage support was wrongly paid out to 5,400 firms last year. This comes after mistakes were made in computing the disbursements. The erroneous payouts were credited to companies under the Job Support Scheme, as well as foreign worker levy waivers and rebates. According to the Ministries of Trade and Industry, Finance and Manpower, the affected companies are not required to take any action for now and will be notified via letters and emails.
Looking at Singapore's COVID-19 situation, 21 new cases were confirmed today, all imported. There were no infections in the community or from migrant workers' dormitories. Let's take a look at what's the stories that's trending on social media today. Now, Myanmar's ambassador to the UK was locked out of his embassy after speaking out against his country's military coup and calling for the release of deposed leader Aung San Suu Kyi. Mr. Kyaw Zaw Min was seen wandering around helplessly after being denied entry to his own embassy in London by his former deputy ambassador on instructions from the junta. He's urging the British government to not work with his replacement or any other ambassador the military might try to nominate in the future. Britain has sanctioned members of the military and some of its business interests in the wake of the coup.
And to mark a year since the Milk Tea Alliance first started, Twitter has launched an emoji. The social media giant said the emoji spotlights the #MilkTeaAlliance, an online protest movement that has forged links between activists around Asia. Twitter said that the Online Solidarity Alliance first started in April 2020 as a Twitter meme, which has grown into a global pro-democracy movement led by activists and concerned citizens in Hong Kong, Thailand, Taiwan, Myanmar, and around the world. The alliance, named for the shared love of sugary tea drinks across Hong Kong, Thailand, and Taiwan, emerged last year in an expression of cross-border solidarity and a shared fear of China.
Now, Godzilla vs. Kong has been setting a pandemic record in cinemas worldwide since its release. And speaking of which, something that looks rather Godzilla-like in a convenience store, a monitor lizard was seen climbing up shelves at a store in Thailand. Rather terrifyingly, I must say, and was seen knocking down multiple items as it tried to get close to the ceiling. Why? Well, presumably to get some cool air from the air conditioner. How peculiar! Something we don't often see, that's for sure.
Now, cleaning while getting down and dirty? A local renovation company has launched a shirtless cleaning service as part of what it has said is Singapore's first hunky guy cleaning service, an initiative that has taken the internet by storm. The post has since been shared thousands of times with mixed responses, some worrying about sweat stains on their furniture, while many others were very, very enthusiastic. Well, if you're interested, VEHS.com said the service will only run for this coming weekend, 10th and 11th April, and their prices are based on the type and size of the unit. Part-time job, Dylan?
Look at the muscles on those guys. I don't think I'm going to qualify. Now, and that wraps up the Straits Times News Night. Do visit straitstimes.com to see more news and videos.
You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting the button below. Have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.